I was cracked out, sniffing dope, like I was at rock bottom. And one time these nurses came in to do a group, and it just so happened to be on babies being born with withdrawals. And they just showed the little twitches and everything, and it scared the shit out of me. I just didn't want that for him. August 11th, he was born completely healthy against all odds and didn't need any methadone, he didn't need medicine. And I felt like it was God saying to me, I did my part, now you do yours.
Wow. Yo.
What's up, baby?
Welcome to Rap Dads, man.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor, man.
Word, man. No, I'm excited to have this conversation, with you. I know the Rap Dads are going to, love this one. So let's start off with, tell me about your kids, age, names, things like that.
Yeah, so I'm a father of three. My oldest is Inaya, 19. She's in college. And then I got Briella. She just turned 9 years old. And then I got my son. He just turned 5 just a couple of days ago,
Word,
Yeah.
man. I'm same. I have 3. We're all boys.
Oh.
Yeah. So tell me about your relationship growing up with your father.
My father was the man. He provided for me. He was there. He was present. He came from that 70s, that 80s era, you know what I mean? He was a partier. What some maybe want to say a functional alcoholic or a functional addict or something like that, but he held it down. The bills are paid, maintained a household, 2 cars and all that, but he had his demons and stuff,
Word. As we all do,
Yeah.
What about your relationship, or what parts of your relationship with your dad did you employ in your own fatherhood or change in your fatherhood?
I gotta be real, nothing. I just in these last 5 years, I am a man in sobriety. Just in these last 5 years, this is me actually being a dad and me being present in my children's life. So the acclimation and the time it takes, you just don't get your life together and now I'm making the rules. It's progress and you're developing their trust. So my angle's a little different now, but I found myself to my son at his party. He wanted to throw a little fit, putting his socks on because it was time to leave, and it felt right telling him, that's not what we doing. Put the socks on. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
4 years prior, getting sober and just coming in their life, it kind of feels weird telling you what to do and something like that.
Right.
I got to keep it real on that.
Word.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, you said your oldest is in college, your youngest is just as young as 5. You've been on this journey. Congratulations on 5 years.
Appreciate you, brother.
What does that acclimation, reacclimation, process look like, for your older two? How do you get back into their lives? How do you gain their trust? And then how do you father?
It comes down to time, and it's, time in recovery, things I must earn. And it's like, there is no gauge of it. It's consistency. It's being consistent. So at this point with my oldest, who's in college, who I probably did the most damage to, now I'm at the point where she'll tell my mother, I miss my dad, like, where is he? You know what I mean? And now we have this, I remember at my 5-year celebration, she got up there and she said to the whole crowd, I threw my first event, and she was like,
I've seen you grown, like, I've seen you from your lowest to, hopefully this is not your highest, so this is gonna be whatever this is. So I'm really proud to present this to you. We're both taking our own struggles and we've formed this interesting bond, our way of showing love. I don't know, it's not traditional, but it works for us. And, okay, don't make me cry, y'all. I'm gonna give this to you because I love you.
Me and my dad have this unique, weird bond now, but it works for us, and it melted my heart. And and there's no recipe, there's no formula. It's just me being consistent in what I'm doing.
Word.
You know.
Absolutely. Also, you know, your 5-year celebration. You posted a flick of you and your son holding the 5 up.
Yeah. So I got sober I got sober August 3rd. He was born August 11th. So every year I get sober, he turns another year older.
That's a bar.
Wow.
That's a bar.
Yeah, so on the 3rd, I celebrated 5 years, but then that was his birthday.
That's
and he was
amazing,
holding up
man.
the 5. So
Yes.
we on our way to 6, baby.
I love that, man. And you know, in that caption, you wrote that he saved your life. Talk about that. How so?
I mean, we go back to 2019, and I finally made the choice to be honest. I finally made this choice to surrender because I was out there wild, man. I was cracked out, sniffing dope, like I was at rock bottom, and we got this process where we go into treatment, we go into programs, they do groups and all this kind of stuff. And one time these nurses came in to do a group, and it just so happened to be on babies being born with withdrawals. And at this time, he was inside of his mother's stomach, and she was handcuffed to a bed with him inside, going through withdrawals too. And now I've been through a lot of things in life before. You know, I lost my dad, I've been shot, stabbed, blah, 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 blah. But none of those things woke me up. But for some reason inside this group, seeing what a baby goes through while withdrawing inside the stomach, and this is just an innocent soul, he never did nothing to nobody, and withdrawing from drugs is hard as an adult.
Right.
And the baby, and they just showed the little twitches and everything, and it scared the shit out of me, you know. And I remember tears in the group were falling down my face, and I remember like that day see, sometimes you can pray and you like asking God for things or get me out of this, but this time I was talking to him like I'm activating faith at this point, and I'm talking to God, like, you know, and I just didn't want that for him, and that was about like August 4th or something, or August 5th, and then August 11th he was born completely healthy against all odds and didn't need any methadone, he didn't need medicine. And I felt like it was God saying to me, I did my part, now you do yours.
Wow.
And the reason why I say he saved my life, because that's when I got real with God, you know, and I've been on this journey for the last 5 years.
Word.
Yeah.
This interview ain't over yet, but I wanted to let you know that this is just a piece of a longer conversation you can check out on the Rap Dad Show podcast on all platforms. What conversations, even with your 5-year-old, are you having about, you know, your sobriety journey?
They don't know. My middle child, Briella, she's very intelligent. She don't say much. You know what I mean? The only person I've had a conversation with is my oldest.
Okay.
And with my middle child, there's always this, like, you know what I mean? Like, she got an Instagram. She got a Facebook. She has a high IQ in school. She can read. I'm very transparent on my platforms.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's not like she's reading stuff and don't know what it means, but maybe she's a better poker player or something. She plays her cards to her chest. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, me and my oldest have had conversations, and there was something powerful she said one time. It was around the time she was 15, so about 4 years ago. And we was just joking, and she was like, God, it took you 15 years to get it right, like a laugh. But then there was an awkward silence. So we talk about these things, and we keep it real with each other. And I'm just trying to let her know, you know what I mean? Like, just don't get high, you know? Just don't get drunk. Like, don't let nobody, like, when you go out, don't ever take a drink from nobody. You're a female, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's different levels, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what are you experiencing with your 5-year-old You know, what is that bond? What is that connection like? Because your two older are also girls. The younger one's a boy. You know, I only have boys, so I kind of know what that vibe is, but I know that they're also different. So tell me about your bond and your relationship with.
So
you
I got to
guys.
be real, you know what I mean? Like when the process of when you get your life together, that doesn't mean you stop paying for the consequences. So, you know, the grandmother's involved. There was a DCF, you know, in Massachusetts it's called DCF, and you know, like there's a worker and all that kind of stuff. So there's time, but now it's to the point where it's just hands off, and I'm in constant communication with the grandmother, and when I see him, he's so happy to see me, and when I leave, he's sad that I leave. You know, and it's just that it's just that progress, you know what I mean, of that consistency and being there. And my goal is to have all my children under one roof one day, but right now we're at the sketching stages. So
Right.
at any given time, a selfish decision or the wrong choice for me, all this goes away, all this little progress, you know. And so I had to be real with that. That's where that bond is at. You know, I don't see him every day yet, you know, but I can call him and I'm there,
Word.
you know, especially financially,
Word,
you know,
word.
but I'm building, I'm getting there.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
What are some of the other things that fatherhood impacted, you know, in you?
My choices, in the beginning process of getting sober, you know, it's like you look good again, you got your life right, just bringing different women around your children. Like you have to be cautious about what you're showing at all times, because those same things, and the next thing you know, this little relationship and this person that came around your kid, but it didn't work out. Now you're causing another trauma for the child. Like my daughter had to go through some things because I'm bringing the wrong people around. Not saying they're the wrong person, but things didn't work out.
Right, right. But they
Not
get attached.
They get attached.
Yeah.
And not everybody deals with whatever disattachment, if that's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
wonder.
yeah.
You
Detachment,
know,
right.
and not everybody deals with that. So just your choices of who you're bringing around, your spending. I mean, it affects everything. Like just, you know, like I got three baby mamas, and I need to be there. And it's at this point, it's not like it's like I'm obligated or anything. I feel like it's a privilege, and I get to be here now. So my sacrifices and my choices, you know, trying to become a man, and be more mature. I got like 5 years at this thing. I'm doing all right, but I know I could do better.
Word.
I'm really proud of him for his new book, The 10 Dad Commandments, Fatherhood Through the Lens of Hip Hop. Commandment number 1, know your role.
Know your role.
What is a father?
You cannot fulfill a role that hasn't been defined.
Right.
Okay.
So you're 5 years sober now. Right now, you're probably hotter than you've ever been, at least to my knowledge, in terms of, you know, notoriety and things of that nature. You know, how are you balancing all of these things? Because there's a lot of, you know, a counterproductive lifestyle that comes with hip hop.
I'm definitely, I'm living 2 lives, man. Like, I work 2 jobs. I'm in recovery. I'm doing meetings. You know what I mean? Wow. I'm speaking. I work with my friend Mathematics, man. He runs a nurturing fathers program in Boston. And I'm learning from these OGs and these men how to be a man, because I'm still a pup at this.
Right.
But it's like the passion. I found something, I wanted it. I never thought this dream, I've wanted to do this rap thing forever, but it's impacted my children to the point now where it's allowed me to bond with my oldest. She got like a little podcast she's trying to put together. My middle child shows me to her friends and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And it's almost like you're becoming like my son, he'll see me on stage and his sister, you know what I mean? It's almost like you're becoming a superhero to them. You know what I mean? And I'm not at that stage yet where this music thing is paying the bills.
Right.
So I'm working 2 jobs. I'm up at 5 in the morning going to this one, and then I'm a recovery coach helping other people, and then I'm speaking, and then you're doing engagements. And I think we all get the same 24 hours, and it's about balancing it.
Word.
You know what I mean? But
Sure.
I wouldn't trade it, you know?
Word.
Yeah.
I love that, man. I mean, you know, hip hop literally has saved my life
Me too.
many a time.
Hip-hop saved my life, too.
I think this is maybe the first time that I'm seeing that hip hop is bonding a family.
Yeah, man.
I love that you said, like, you know, I'm on stage and, you know, because of, you know, me making music, you know, my kids are proud of me and they're sharing me, and like that's every dad's dream, regardless of what, if you're a rapper or not. You just want your kids to be proud of you, man, and look at you like a hero.
And that's the amazing part. And for the longest time, I felt like I didn't deserve Father's Day, because my birthday falls on June 17th. I think Father's Day is
The 16th, usually around that time.
yeah. So this was the first Father's Day. It was like, and you know, people, like, it was like, it made sense. Inside, there wasn't conviction, a person giving you a Father's Day card, and it's
Right.
like, inside, being real, I don't deserve that.
Wow.
But this year, it was like, it felt right. There was no conviction.
I love that, bro. I appreciate that so much, because I often come across a lot of fathers who are very entitled. And they are entitled because I made this child, so I'm a dad. And it's like, bro, you're the furthest thing from a father just because you made a child. You know what I'm saying? So
I was so grateful to my dad. One thing that he taught me was a lot of friction would always come, what I would see in my own personal experience. You ain't together no more, but you still want to play with the mom. And then when these behaviors or that selfishness, that entitlement or whatever you doing comes out, and then she's flipping, but you ain't seeing your kids and all this kind of stuff. So one thing he had told me, you know what I mean, if you ain't together with that person anymore, that person has to become family. And when that person becomes family, you ain't thinking with the other head no more. You ain't moving wrong. And if that person has another man or something, and that person's around your kid or whatever the case, this is an acceptance thing.
Right.
And that made my life a lot more easier, to the point where these friendship and bonds with my children's mothers are there, and I'm looking at the, you know what I mean, like, ain't no static, ain't nothing.
Right.
I appreciate it, you know what I mean? I understand.
That's wisdom, bro.
You know, but he gave me that. That was one thing he left me with. You know?
No, I think, but that, again, that's so important, man. And that's why it's so important for us to have fathers, because a lot of dudes out here, you know, I don't want no kids, I don't want nobody around my kid, and, you know, and it's like, you know, life goes on, bro. Whatever happened between you and your kid's mom happened. And now life is going on. And if you're lucky enough, you know what I'm saying? Your lady will bring a guy around who actually is, you know, adds value to your kid's life. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
like,
real, bro.
And, you know, and you have to, you can't be that
child.
selfish.
You can't be a child. It's like the word you used, entitled.
Yeah, man.
You know?
To think that now this woman can't have a life because you had a kid.
You don't
with
play
her.
those games over here.
Yeah, that's wild.
They become family, and things become easier. But it's scary, man.
bar.
It's scary though. Like, I do feel like, for me, I don't know how long because right now I'm chasing rap vigorously.
Okay.
And shout out to my mother, and shout out to the people that are watching my kids, and I can hit the road 4 hours here, 4 hours back, nonstop every week to do this. But I know, I look in the eyes of these grandmothers with your kids, and it's like, the time is coming where they're coming to you. And then I watch my friend, like mathematics. You watch a person like that, a single dad, and it's almost like this kid is on his hip. He goes to meetings, she's there with him. He does this. Everything he does, his kid got to be there with him. And I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe God's showing you the sacrifices that you're going to have to make and what you're going to have to do, and things are going to have to slow down. And being a dad is things that we love, things I want to do, this type of thing, being here with you. You might have to start saying no to some things when that time comes, and it's kind of scary, you know what I mean?
Word.
But it's levels, and
Right.
God don't give you nothing more you can handle.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy where He got me at, but I am preparing
Word.
mentally. You
That's
know?
brilliant.
Yeah.
That's amazing. On the next episode of the Rap Dads Show.
What a motherfucker know about like being in jail as a father and you gotta size up the birthdays, like cause you facing that much time. You like, damn, if I take
Oh
10, my daughter gonna be this age. I probably could catch this. I won't catch her 8th grade graduation, but I might catch her high school.
Yo.
That's some real shit that go on in there. Motherfuckers be sizing shit up like that.